Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to this book reading series, and this is the 69th book in our book reading series. Thank you very much for all your kind support at all times. Be it my mission flat tummy human, or maybe book reading series, or maybe professional enhancement journey. So whatever it is, you've been always there, very very kind, and thank you for tolerating all my almost daily posts on my social media. Thank you very much. You get a rush of happy hormones in yourself, and then you get elevated, and you many times you rise like a phoenix, and you extend a lot of gratitude toward that person. There is plethora of books. There are books available offline, at the store, off store, online. A lot of books. But the thing is, who is writing the book? Who is writing the book? And I personally feel that when there is no difference between what you preach and what you practice, then you can actually make a difference. Yeah. And such is Nancy Katyal. Such is Nancy. I am very lucky that in 2015 I underwent this course on image management, and Nancy happened to be my trainer, my coach, and I learned a lot many things from Nancy. And since then, 2015, I'm connected with Nancy. And whenever I get into certain kind of confusion, especially when it comes to attire, image management, I get a lot of clarity from Nancy. And Nancy, the good thing about Nancy is definitely, Nancy is like one of my very favorites, full of life. Is like, for example, Kajol. Kajol is so lively, right? Kajol is so graceful. Wow, so graceful. And of course, she is very beautiful, very gorgeous, and very glamorous. So simple, so down to earth. सो जब नैन्सी बात करती हैं तो सिर्फ इमेज मैनेजमेंट सिर्फ लिबास की बात नहीं करती है. इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट द मेकअप, बट योर इनर सेल्फ ऑल्सो. So that is great thing about Nancy. She is so holistic. She is so humane. She is so humble. She is so humble. I really like that. So Nancy knows how to expel and display the darkness lurking within all of us. I mean, she will enable you to think in the right way, to actually turn inside to that inner shift, to change that paradigm, and how you plug those gaps of misunderstanding, because the baseline is not to misunderstand anyone, not to get misunderstood. Okay, Nancy Katyal जो है, अगर आप इनका सोशल मीडिया खंगालेंगे, if you'll visit social media, especially Facebook, so you'll be pleasantly surprised that this person is always putting some questions. She is there to make you think, and it is rightly said by some Greek philosopher that you can't teach anyone anything, but you can make them think. And one thing I really like about Nancy Katyal is that on her social media she always puts this question. For example, if you want to dedicate a music to yourself, which song will you dedicate to yourself? If you want to share some piece of advice, somebody gave to you, what that piece of advice would be. There are so many questions. She keeps on posting very consistently over a period of time. I have seen over so many years. I have seen, and I think maybe this book, this book could be one of the source. Could be the responses getting so genuinely by the people, because she is a great learner, and only a learner can be a fantastic trainer. Now, who's Nancy Katyal? Nancy Katyal is also not just image management coach, a behavioral coach, a motivational speaker, but she goes to very premium business schools and universities, including IIMs, to deliver sessions there, for the corporate, conducting holistic workshops. Yeah. So I know Nancy Katyal for several years, and I take it as my blessing. And today this is the gift. This is the gift. This is the gift from Santa. Santa called Nancy Katyal. So since this book is recently launched, so I don't want to get into the details, but I would like to give a snapshot of this book. And see, on the very cover page, Ankur Warikoo has mentioned about this book and about Nancy Katyal. So what Ankur Warikoo has to say, again one of my favorites. Ankur Warikoo says, with her simple yet powerful words, Nancy tells us a story that we all ought to hear. A story about the most important relationships we all have, the one with our own selves. That's very important. Ignore this book if you wish to ignore that relationship. Ankur Warikoo, best-selling author. Right. So, अब इस किताब में क्या है? The first thing which I really like, here Nancy Katyal has mentioned, I don't know if you are able to see, but all those who continue to believe in hope and look at their failures with as much as pride as their success. Now, this statement, it actually moved me. कि भाई, how you can look at your failures with so much of pride. right? We all, actually get depressed the moment we think of our failures, and we think ourselves that we lack something, or maybe most of us get into depression, or maybe certain kind of inferiority complex senses. There are all put together 7 chapters in this book, and in introduction it is like wake up. Once upon a time I thought 15-20 years ago that my book will be titled Wake Up Call, but let's see. So wake up, my eureka moment. One size does not fit all. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Wow. The promise that you need to make to yourself. So this is a part of introduction. And the chapter 1 is take a leap of faith. Giving is not the solution. Luck redefined. Stop living the big fat lie. So मैं इसमें अभी ज़्यादा डिटेल में नहीं जाने वाला हूँ. From whole to being whole. This is about romance, me time beyond binging, and being your own BFF. बहुत अच्छा लगा. Because if you truly know yourself, if you truly love yourself, and it is not that loving someone, because the moment you become love, then you are exuding, then you are emanating those vibrations, those vibes of love. Then whosoever comes into your radiance, in your aura, you are going to spread that love, because you are the very love. So you will be non-judgmental. You will not see that I'm not going to love her, I'm not going to love him, I'm going to love him or love her because she is physically more beautiful, or maybe she is financially doing very well and all that, so on and so forth, she is more successful. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Love is very unbiased, and we all know that, we all experience. So this is really good. This is not, self-love is not about narcissism, but self-love is having a faith in yourself. So मैं ज़्यादा क्यों बोलूँ यार, आप अपनी कॉपी ऑर्डर करिए और देखिए, एक्सप्लोर कीजिए, and I'm sure whenever you go through each and every line of this book, you will see it's like your own story. So the third chapter is untie the knots of your mind. मेंटल मोड के ऊपर उन्होंने बात करी हुई है, और एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट जो इसमें जो लेसन है वो बेसिकली हाउ टू ब्रेक फ्री. सो लेट्स सी हाउ टू ब्रेक फ्री. ब्रेक फ्री में नैन्सी जो है वो कह रही है कि द बिगेस्ट बैरियर इन थिंकिंग इज दैट उन्होंने एकार्ट टोले के बारे में एग्जाम्पल दिया हुआ है दैट we are so unconscious when it comes to thinking, because we lack that clarity. The moment we have that clarity, absolute clarity, then actually the rivers of thoughts actually change. The thinking changes. Now it is very conditioned thinking, very biased thinking, and by then the thinking will be very pure, very holistic, very loving. For example, Nancy Katyal has made this 2 options. One side, left side, she says, I used to see myself as. अभी तक मैं अपने आप को कैसे देखता हूँ, कैसे देखती हूँ. I used to see myself as, definitely with lot of lacunas, gaps, all those things. And now towards the right side, she is mentioning that now have this headline, I choose to now see myself as what. So focus on that. Blast the past. जो हो गया ठीक है. Improve yourself, and then देखो कि इसके आगे क्या हो सकता है. Really inspiring, really very good. Whenever I used to see Nancy in class, I used to get completely floored and foxed, because there are some people, they have certain kind of aura, certain kind of magnetism. तो मुझे बड़ा अच्छा लगता था, and I used to feel कि काश मैं उनको और सुनता रहूँ, because the kind of delivery mechanism she adopts, and she adopts is very, very entertaining, and aside those in-depth insights, she puts it across in a very entertaining way, in a very humorous way. तो बड़ा मज़ा आता था. I used to recall 3 Idiots, Baba Ranchhod Das. She's like a lady Baba Ranchhod Das of 3 Idiots. Yeah. So so this is a fantastic book. I recommend to all my family, to all my friends, all my people who believe in themselves, who believe in evolving holistically. So everything in the world gets conked off, slows down, and it doesn't work, and then we feel famished, and we give up. So we should not feel so. It's basically not motivation but an inspiration in spirit, that's a better word. And you should be able to fathom out those fossil facts about yourself, and then and she has put it very, very holistically, very, very straight, with Siddhi Baat, no bakwas. So thank you very much, Nancy, for being there, and thank you for this great gift on this Christmas. You are my Santa. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Take care. I love you.